This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Amokrane Mariche. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Beautiful. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm doing super great.
That's awesome. What part of the world are you in right now?
I'm in Montreal, Canada.
All right. And which of your talents, Amokrane, is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
Okay. So I guess first is curiosity. I'm super curious. And I'm also super passionate about people. So if I'm not mistaken, I've heard a podcast that you recorded with Anna McAfee. She's from Australia. And that's why I think the connections was made on LinkedIn.
Well, that's super cool. Like the both of you, your first and last name set up an acronym, called AM. And I mean, within the LinkedIn space, you guys definitely are doing some amazing things. Like you can say, I am LinkedIn local, right?
Yes, actually, we just had an amazing night yesterday here in Montreal, where we met, for a LinkedIn local Montreal. It's the 6th episode, and it was amazing because people really enjoyed the experience. We had terrific, super nice speakers. So I'm super proud and super happy that we delivered this experience for the people here in Montreal.
Well, that's great. That's great. So tell me, who did you learn that curiosity part of who you are from?
I thought about it, and I think my father is responsible for that skill somehow. Curiosity and being open to other cultures, being humble and trying to learn from others, being passionate about other cultures. I think it's mainly from my father. I had many experiences in my life. I went to over 25 countries to date. I'm like world traveler. But the thing that I am passionate more about is, humans and cultures. I'm not the kind of people, when he travels, he goes to the same Hiltons and, kind of hotels. I like very real, rough connection with the locals. So I think that, and my father helped me a lot in understanding that, rational and being super close to people and cultures.
It gives you the real feel, right? Like we got to stay with individuals that were on the podcast, and that in itself created an entirely new experience where we could taste things that we would not have tasted in a bed and breakfast or just doing the hotel, right? Eggs
Exactly.
and something. It was really great, and then to see family interactions as well. That was great as well.
It's amazing. I'm now in Montreal, but I'm originally from Algeria, North Africa. And imagine once, I think in total in Africa, I went to 8 or 9 countries. But the first time I flew, for example, to Burkina Faso, it's in the middle of Africa. I can say that it's economically a poor country, but very rich in history, in humans. So imagine when I arrived there in Burkina Faso, the capital Ouagadougou, it was so different from my country, Algeria, that I almost said to my team, because I was a filmmaker at that time, you know what? We should record everything from the hotel, because I thought, okay, it's so different. I was like somehow scared. You know what happened? Just 10 days after, it's until now my favorite country.
Wow.
People from Burkina Faso are my favorite humans on earth. I really appreciate them. They're so smart, so kind. They have the same kind of curiosity. They were telling me things about my country, about history. So I was like somehow, wow, what's this? So this wasn't like an eye-opener for me in order to be more humble and to try to understand others and not like judge from the first experience or the first time you met someone.
That's wonderful. Now tell us about what you do professionally. What has you going to all of these places?
Actually, I had many things in my life until today. Now, I first started as a journalist in Algeria. I did also some work as a reporter, so video reporter, and then I went to study cinema in France. So I turned like to be a filmmaker and documentary filmmaker, and that in that specific time of my life where I traveled a lot. And one day, somehow, I don't know how this happened, but I got an assignment from a brand to create a video, and this brand is Nike. So I went through an experience where I had to take care of the marketing in Algeria for Nike. And this led to 6 years experience with Nike. And the last time I worked for Nike was in 2017. I was a regional marketing manager for the whole North Africa, so for 3 countries.
Wow.
And I never, ever imagined myself to work in marketing, but that's, when you are curious, you don't say no. And from the first video to Nike, for Nike, I was like hired, and then I got like more responsibilities, and so forth and so forth.
That's great. That's great. Where can people go to connect with you, Amokrane?
Actually, I'm everywhere on social media. My main playground is LinkedIn, because now I'm here in Montreal. I don't work anymore with Nike. As I said, the last time was in 2017. I decided with my wife to de-immigrate here in Canada, and I work at the Chamber of Commerce of Montreal. And also, I as an entrepreneur, I do as a coach and as a consultant in marketing, and as a trainer, as a LinkedIn and personal branding trainer.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, I'm glad to hear all you've accomplished. It seems to be a conversation over a cup of coffee, and let's say 2 to 3 hours, yeah? A fun conversation.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I actually, one of the last projects I launched here in Montreal, that called CaféIN. CaféIN, like what we like in coffee,
right.
But also it's both words, the in from LinkedIn, and café in French we say coffee, café. So CaféIN, and it's a video series where I meet people with whom I have a connection online, but I invite them for a coffee. So we take it offline. We take it real, not just, a connection, and not like vanity metrics and how many people on LinkedIn. So from this, I did like many amazing meetings and CaféIN. So now I'm thinking of launching a podcast where I also meet and share this experience.
That would be great. I'm excited already. I can't even let you finish the sentence here, because I love when I'm listening to a podcast and I hear background songs. So, in a cafe, you get that, right? The chatter, the knocking of the cups, and you get to like wonder.
The experience,
yes,
the full experience.
Definitely. And when we were in Montreal, like I remember vividly the bags of coffee beans as we walked into the cafe. It was beautiful. It was raw. Again, Montreal in itself is beautiful, added to the coffee that we had there as well.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, my friend, here's what. We've blown past our first and second segment, but I'd like now to invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm blue Caribbean water. Amokrane, what's your earliest childhood memory?
Wow. I think I was almost like 4 years old, and if if I remember, because it's, as a filmmaker, I mix everything, my memories, and I create movies in my memories. But it was in the kindergarten where I was like at that time 5 years old, and I remember even what I was wearing, the blue shirt. So that is my earliest memory.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I think because I was so happy. When I was younger, I was so close to my father and to my family in general, but I had less connections and like moments with other kids. So I was somehow protected. So that moment where I was only with other kids at 4 years old and playing in, I remember the yard of the kinder. So this maybe made me feel like more connected to the humans I am passionate about now. So that's why it was a very vivid memory from that time.
Well, I love how you connected that. I would like to draw the thread of synchronicity that I see in that memory in one particular way, and it's the color blue, right? Like Leighton has the blue. Your current profile picture has you in a blue jacket. Like I'm not sure, but the glasses you're wearing are those? I'm not sure. I can't see them, but
true.
Well, that's pretty cool. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
I was in Algeria, and I was a fan of Takfarines. He's a local singer, but super modern. From what I remember, I don't hear his songs, anymore. But at that time, I'm sure it was Takfarines.
Okay, could you send me a link, please, with the song if you find it? Yeah, I'd appreciate that tremendously.
Sure.
All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Amokrane?
Let's do it.
Amokrane, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I have 2 daughters, but I prefer to pass on my skills to the whole humanity, sharing with everyone.
Are you married?
Yes.
All right. How long have you been married for?
7 years.
Ooh, it sounds like that. Sounds like you've been around the mountain for quite a bit. So you're married, you have 2 children. Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Never.
Wow. How about 3 hours a week?
Never.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? More than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Obviously more than 8 hours.
Amokrane, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Amokrane Mariche, what would you say that is?
I would say that I strive to be the best version of myself. Not for me only, but also for others. That's what I would say as a unique real statement that I firmly believe in. I need to be better, not only selfishly for me, but also for others.
Love it. I'll add something. Can I add something, please?
Yes.
Yeah, I would just say, I am better for others. And I'll use the am, I would spell it the A.M for the Amokrane Mariche. Yeah.
You know what, Angel? You are so special. I understand now why you did all what you did, and I'm super proud of you.
Well, thank you very much, Amokrane. Well, this was such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I just want to say that, one of the things that I'm passionate about as well is content creation. When we create content, this helps you not only to connect with your inner voice, but it also gives a chance to people around you to discover your personality. So I would recommend to people, as you are doing, Angel, as I'm doing, especially on LinkedIn, to create content, to build their personal brand, and to give a chance to people to discover that jewel, that diamond that is called you. People are listening to that podcast.
Love it. Amokrane again, great pleasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you very much, Angel.
You're welcome.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazon Enterprise.